Hey man, aren't you that guy that girls head open by throwing a mic stand in the crowd? You know what? Yeah. Yeah, I am. And I might do it again. What are you gonna do about it? Hey man, aren't you that guy that's...
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Hey man, your band sucks. Yeah, well I'm rich as shit. I'm rich as shit. And it's all because of music. I live in a gigantic mansion. And I sell a lot of tickets. What's your band doing?
Ronnie Radke is back up on TikTok. He has had a number of social media accounts go offline in recent months on social media platforms. TikTok has a lot of problems they are facing as a platform with a ton of scrutiny through Congress. We'll see what ends up happening with that. I'm not really sure what the best option is, and I know there are valid concerns on both sides of that issue. I did learn some very interesting information about what is going on with Ronnie and Falling in Reverse in particular. And he's been very quiet in recent months, which is uncharacteristic of him. And typically in the past, that involves a lot of deep focus, and it's a sign that big things are coming soon. I want to first, though, take a look back at the last year or so of Falling in Reverse's career, because this is a band that has constantly reinvented themselves. Ronnie, as polarizing as he is to some people, has constantly reinvented himself. He has always stayed on the bleeding edge of music, and he's really pushed the genre forward. And so he's got a lot of things that people may not like about him that is also connecting him with a very big audience. So while some people may not like his delivery style, I would also argue that it's probably one of the reasons that he's been so successful. Looking back on Ronnie, he has been outspoken on a number of different subjects. Outside of just the feuds and things that we've seen him engaged in, he's also made a lot of positive differences. One example would be when he spoke out on stage in the very venue that was really involved in an egregious merch cut. I'll never understand this. If you're not participating in making the product, how can you justify taking this percentage? So he deserves a lot of credit for this. This is what Ronnie had to say at the time about this venue at this show. And I know there's people saying, oh, well, it's in your agreement and stuff like that. I don't know the details of that, but I do know that it still doesn't address the fact that it's a fucking ridiculous premise that you can take this amount of money from an artist and you did for a product they're selling at a venue they've rented, and you are supposed to just hand this money over. And it never made sense to me. And I really hope if there's one thing that we can improve in music, it's just getting rid of this trash practice. I don't like it at all, but this is what Ronnie had to say at the time about this. All right, so here it is with Ronnie addressing the crowd at the very venue that is taking this merch cut from the band.
If you haven't noticed that there is none of our merch in the back, and I want to let you guys know something. It has nothing to do with the radio station. It has to do with this venue. This venue is trying to charge us 25% of our fees. We had to pay this venue. This venue, hold on.
And see, the crowd ain't liking that. Why do the venues do this? And I really believe if you have more people like Ronnie who are willing to just go, man, f*** this. I'm not doing this. If you have more people like that, this will not be a problem. It's not going to withstand the customers, the patrons of this venue, as you can hear from the booing, are disgusted by this. And I also think when you're a concert venue who's reliant on the bands booking your facility, and most big towns have multiple options you can perform at. So when you have multiple choices, a lot of people just aren't going to choose that anymore. I don't think even Live Nation, I think they made a change at their mid-level venues where they're not going to be doing this. Now it's a little bit different at the larger venues because they're like apparently supplying staff to man the booths and stuff like that. But by and large, if like they're just trying to take a percentage of your merch sales at these mid-level or smaller venues where you're handling start to finish the product, the manufacturing, the fulfillment of the sale, you're paying for the person to be in the booth, all of that, it makes no sense. It's egregious to me. And the fans clearly do not like that.
So what that would mean is we would have to charge you guys way more to even make any money. So what I did was, them, that. I'm not paying you guys fucking shit. That's fucked up. If you guys want our t-shirts, you can go online and pick them up. We'll probably lose a little bit of money from doing this, but I ain't doing that shit. I'm not selling my merch to get 25% of this fucking venue. Fuck you guys.
We need more people doing that. And so I know that there are people who find him to be polarizing. I understand that. But nobody else is doing this. You know, nobody else is like standing up on stage with like the venue management is somewhere in the building, and I'm sure they're hearing this. And the reality is the venue needs the band a lot more than the band needs the venue in many cases. Now, there are up and coming bands that maybe don't have the ability to kind of, I understand that not every band can really like put themselves out there in this regard, but he is doing a service for a lot of people by talking shit like this. It's just the reality. I'm telling you, you're taking these fees from these bands. The economics of touring stop making sense at a certain point.
You. And I'll say it to your fucking face too. Fucked up. They take our streaming money, they take everything. And now they're taking that, they're taking it out of your pockets. You guys gotta spend $100 on a hoodie. It's fucked up. That's the reason. It's because these fucking venues like this. So I'm sorry, guys.
And he's one of very few people that's willing to kind of speak out against the bigger industry. So this leads me to my next point, which is anytime Ronnie goes dormant on social media, I kind of begin assuming that there's a lot more happening behind the scenes than we're being told. And so I started working my sources in rock, and I did learn, I can exclusively confirm here, that Falling in Reverse is working on their first album in 6 years. What I can also confirm is that Falling in Reverse in the near future is gearing up to announce a major tour that will be one of the biggest rock tours of the year. And so I'm being told the lineup is crazy. I think that we saw from the Popular Monster tour in the past how successful that tour was. We are basically on the verge of entering into a new era for Falling in Reverse. This band has gained so much buzz and so much traction. But what's really different about this is that now we're going to get that full album release from the band. And so what comes of this? I'm going to tell you what. There's been a lot of talk about artists that have wanted to work with Ronnie. Falling in Reverse has had a lot of features in the past. We've heard from Tech9 saying he would love to work with Ronnie. There's been so much conversation about who could be involved. I don't know any of that, but what I can confirm is that there's a new album coming and there's a major tour coming, and you can bet on both of those things occurring. Very exciting news. And so we'll sit back and wait to see what's going to come of all of this, but you can expect a full-length album, the first in 6 years from Falling in Reverse, and a major tour announcement. I don't know when the album's coming, but a major tour announcement will be happening in the near future. So we're entering into this new era for Falling in Reverse. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. I'm very excited about this, and we will keep you posted on all things Falling in Reverse here at Rockfeed. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right here with notifications on for the latest news and updates right here at Rockfeed.